So this is JP from New England Cop Chases and Cop Chases. I want to talk about something. I haven't been out because I've been dealing with kids, school year, and I homeschool and all that stuff. So when the warmer months goes up, I promise fans I am gonna go out and cop chase and do some what the new phrase is auditing. Even though I don't think the First Amendment even applies anymore, but that's a whole nother subject. I am going to do a series on why the Constitution is dead and the steps the government's taken to abolish it. But that's a whole nother subject. Tonight, I want to talk once again, like back in the past, especially in 2016, I was highly critical of the Free State Project here in New Hampshire. Which primarily people call free staters. There's different types of groups. Some of them are idealistic libertarians, oathed libertarians, people that do a lot of drugs and drink libertarians, and then they have a Christian group as libertarians, free staters here. So they have their own cliques. Like they're in first and second grade, ninth grade, all the way up in high school. But for the most part, I think most of them are children, and they do more harm than good. This is a perfect example. Okay, so on my news feed, this really irritated me, so I wanted to do a video on it. I think people on my channel should take note on why these people that be like, oh, we need to go against the aggressors and get rid of the police. Dude, believe me, no one's done more police accountability in the movement across America than me. The people that have done it more than me are no longer around. So they're not even on the subject. I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and I made an example on one of my videos a few months back on how I file complaints linked to some of my videos. Some of them go to administrative appeals. Some of them go to court on discretionary suits, not suits that you win money from, but to have a judge say, you need to follow this policy because this is the law type of deal. Look up discretionary suits. That's a whole nother subject. Also, I can teach people how to do that. I'm going to do instructional videos on how to go after public officials, police, and public and state entities that do not follow the law. But, okay, here we go. All right, check it out. This town called Croydon, New Hampshire, had a... let me see here. What the heck is his name? Had a chief. His name is Richard Lee, Chief Richard Lee. He was the one and only cop in Croydon, New Hampshire. He was the self-proclaimed chief. I don't know if you can see, but that's him right there. Okay. So this free stater pushed to abolish the police department. And this is what really freaking irritates me to no end, right? So this free stater, I'm trying to find his name, had like this secret meeting. He didn't even see. Select Board Chair Russell Edwards said Tuesday decision to eliminate police department was an economic one, even though they're gonna spend more than $50,000 a year. $55,000 a year on the state police to do that area. I'll get to that in a minute. Trying to find this free stater's name. I don't know why I can't remember any of these names. I think I have sometimes disease. I only remember one, sometimes or one time.
Land Lakes, altogether better.
Don't listen to that plug-in. That was the TV doing that. I'm probably gonna get flagged for that. Anyways, they held some type of special board meeting to abolish the cops, right? They brought the police chief in, and they literally fired him right on the spot. And he walked home in his fucking underwear. Are you kidding me? This is true shit. Anyways, this Ian Underwood, okay, this douchebag, not so free staters, I call them, because they do more harm than good. And I'll get to the other story in a minute about Manchester. I'm a big critic of them. I tell people all the time in my videos I'm not a free stater. You probably hear that a lot if you're one of my fans. You know that's like one of my biggest lines. Um, so they eliminated one 60-year-old police chief who only worked a 32-hour week. So it was part-time. It wasn't even a full-time. I don't know if people realize the state mandated sector coverage rule for training and standards. So there's going to be 13 separate state troopers going to be patrolling that area day and night. Not 13 all at once, but there's going to be like 13 in the process of a week. Through it's 24-hour sector coverage over there, just like they do in Gilsum on the weekends. Like during the week in Gilsum, New Hampshire, you never see a cop pull over anybody. When the state police are there, like 6, 7, 8, 9, an hour they're yanking. So now this peaceful town with this one cop that's old, knows everybody, waves when people go by, even if they have a taillight being out, he knows them. Hey, your taillight's out. I heard stories of this guy actually driving drunk people home after pulling them over. He keeps the keys and he gives them the keys the next day. So this is like a non-aggressive cop, okay? So now this stupid free stater actually gloats. I got rid of the police on a forum on Facebook, right? So I got blocked and banned from the group. It's not one of the groups I'm involved in now, even though I did make. I'm only linked to one free stater group now. I used to be part of a lot of them, and I didn't get banned from any of them. They pick on my speech and the way I type, and autocorrect on the phone. I can't see very well with little letters. Whatever. I write like shit on the phone. I can do pretty good with a computer, but on the phone I can't type very well. So instead of having a good debate, they want to pick on where commas are, just like a 5-year-old child, not realizing our whole language is based on Dutch slang is where the English language. Plus I speak Brooklonian anyway. I don't even care. I get my word out either way. So $50,000 a week they're saying it costs, but it actually only costs only $40,000 a year was the estimated cost for that one officer to be the prosecutor and a cop. I don't know if you know, New Hampshire has like single prosecutors for simple violations and violation and consequent type crimes. And then you have your regular prosecutors from the prosecutor's office prosecute the more higher crimes, like class A misdemeanors and class A being felonies and stuff in Superior Court. But low-level crimes, the police department will train a cop to prosecute those cases. It was supposed to save the state money when they did that, but it actually costs them more because it puts more time in the police and make the towns pay for it, even though they get a small little stipend from the county for those prosecutions. But I don't have any of that info, so I don't want to quote on it. I'm just giving you the general idea. So this is my problem with this, okay? Now you have these young state troopers pulling people over day and night, coming home from work, and now they're just that poor town's gonna get harassed to no end. So, and then one of them say, did the taxpayers, is it a taxpayer thing? Listen, taxes are here. Shut the hell up about the taxes. If I was forced to pay for something, I'd rather pay for one 60-year-old cop than 13 tyrants with M4s mounted inside their car, which they do, that wear Kevlar vests thinking they're soldiers, and they're combat oriented, and they preconceive. See, this old timer, he hasn't been involved in any of that combative training. He's grandfathered out. He probably hasn't passed a PT in over 20 years, given his age. I mean, the guy's been there forever. So I'm guessing he hasn't been to any training at Training and Standards in Concord in 2 decades. So, that's just my take on that. But anyways, this cop, I say put him back in. You'll see a lot less aggressives and a lot less harassment from police. But now the other thing is, this cop was overseen. The oversight of him was there in the town. The town could actually make a decision for that. But now the state runs shit. A bigger entity that the town has no say over now. They could do what they want, when they want, and how they want, because now it's controlled by the state. So, more state equals Mr. Underwood status. Oh, you're going against your own principles there, dear bub. I want to get a camera in this guy's face and ask him questions on how he feels about bringing more aggressors into the town of Croydon with a population of 5 deer, 2 moose, and 1 black bear. Now you have soldiers that are 20 years old with no college law degrees, that are combat oriented, that have preconceptions, with no impartiality whatsoever, that wear Kevlar vests, that think they're on the board, soldiers with M4s in the front of their car, that want to shoot first, ask questions later. So thank you for making our state unsafe and less safe.